Hey, this is Simon with AvaTrade. Welcome to our weekly webinar. Of course, special welcome goes to our new audience. And if you're new to the webinar, I just want to share with you a few words about the title and what to expect from this webinar. So the name, mapping out your week ahead. And as I like to quote traders when they say you plan your trade and then you trade your plan. And that's exactly what we're trying to do, just to create a structure to analyze things based on fundamentals and some technicals and try to kind of make a plan for the week. And that, of course, doesn't guarantee success, but definitely makes our trading process more organized and less stressful. Few things about myself. My name is Simon Friedman. I'm a senior account manager with AvaTrade. I started my trading journey as a prop trader in New York City in June of 2000. And after doing that for about 11 years, I moved away from day trading, with that setup of prop form. And of course, I continued trading and I started to mentor and educate others. And I'm very happy I have this great opportunity to be assisting our customers at AvaTrade. So the agenda of the webinar, as usual, we'll talk about indices, stocks, commodities, and Forex, and a little bit of crypto for dessert, as usual. Risk warning, you can find the full statement at avatrade.com website. And of course, everything we'll do here is purely educational. We do not suggest any trades, and we do not give any trading signals. Social media channels of AvaTrade, please feel free to follow us and subscribe to Telegram, X, and YouTube. As I usually say, YouTube is my favorite channel because it has a huge spectrum of information. You have tutorials on the platforms, you have educational materials, and of course the webinars, including this one, are being recorded and posted on YouTube. So you can browse through the past webinars. You can also watch if you think you'll miss any of our live webinars. Don't stress. You can find a convenient time and situation, and you can watch the webinar. If you are watching this on YouTube, please feel free or don't forget to click on that like button. Of course, only if you like it, and share with people that might be benefiting from this. And of course, if you have any questions, any comments, please write them down. Okay, so before we go into the slides, it's been quite a week, and you know, with all the craziness and uncertainty, and still the government shut down the U.S., we still managed to make all-time highs. So just for this past week, we had all 3 U.S. indices closing at the all-time highs. This is number 34 record high for this year for S&Ps, number 33 for NASDAQ, and number 13 for the Dow Jones. So it's been a very strong journey there. So Friday, Dow Jones crossed the 47,000 mark, was up 1%, and S&Ps were up 0.8%, and NASDAQ was up 1.2%. So market looks strong. Again, let's see how this week will play out. We have 3 interest rate decisions. Of course, the most important one is the US, and we have Canada, Bank of Japan, actually 4. US, Bank of Canada, Bank of Japan, and the ECB, the European Central Bank. So we'll be watching that. Okay, so a few slides here for the articles from Barron's here. So the title, the Fed will soon end the QT, which is quantitative tightening, to avoid the financial plumbing problem. And it says right here that, I mean, it looks obvious that we're gonna have most likely another quarter of percent cut on the 29th. And it says right here, the far more important than the foregone conclusion is what the central bank would do with its balance sheet, a topic typically given shrift at Fed Chair Jerome Powell's post-FOMC press conference. So just to explain, together with other measures that they take to save the economy, they were buying in open markets some financial instruments. There was the quantitative easing, and now it's been going on the reverse process when they were selling it to the markets. And this article says that they might stop doing that soon. I'm not sure that they ran out of products or they're trying to balance things. Now, this is important. The oil prices jumped this week, and now the U.S. consumer may be the ones to feel the pain from Trump's Russia sanctions. As you know, Trump, before he was elected and after he was showing off, saying that he's going to, stop the war within a week and so on, it's still ongoing, unfortunately. A lot of people are dying. So now, after a few attempts, there was a meeting in Alaska with Putin that didn't bring any results and so on. It looks like Trump's getting fed up, and they just ran a new round of sanctions on Russia. Europe is joining. So the moment he announced it, I believe it was Wednesday last week, or this past Wednesday, and the oil reacted to the upside. So the article just points out that as the oil prices might go higher, that will increase the inflation level. Also, we're getting ready for the meeting. Trump is supposed to meet with Chinese leader in South Korea, I believe. And the title says right here, the US and China are piling up troubles for companies. Xi Trump talks might not help. And here the key point, the US initiated a probe into China's compliance with the prior trade deal and so on. Complaints face increasing pressure from both sides. The US could expand its entire list to over 10,000 Chinese firms, and is considering broader export restriction. And here's from China's side, China is implementing its own export controls on critical minerals, extending restrictions to foreign products using Chinese rare earth, and launching antitrust probes into US companies. So that tariff war, it's really building up there. So let's see how that meeting, if it happens, will play and change things one way or another. As we said, it's already kind of a done deal that on Wednesday the Feds will cut another quarter of a point. This is the CME Fed Watch tools, and it's at 98.3% currently. Now here's the economic calendar. As we said, we have 4 interest rate decisions and a few other things. So just want to explain about the economic calendar to new people that are not familiar with this. It's public information. You can access it on our web trader or the app, or you can just Google it. Traders, I believe every trader, active trader, should know about these things ahead of time, especially the important things. So what I do here, I just pull out the high impact events only. There's so much more. You can filter and choose whatever's relevant. So these are the things for this upcoming week. We have CPI numbers from Australia. We have interest rate decision from Canada, the Bank of Canada, announcing it before the Feds on the same day, though. So that's on Wednesday. Later on, now, by the way, the times here are in GMT time. The US Fed's decision is later on 6 p.m. GMT, followed by press conference 30 minutes later. That's the important event. As we know, the decision, as we said, it's already a done deal. And the most important thing is the press conference, where the specific questions would be asked, and Powell will be, as I like to say, dodging the bullets there. Thursday, Bank of America interest rate decision statement. and also press conference, right? Important. GDP numbers from Germany and the European Union, GDP numbers from the US, and CPI numbers from Germany. Then we have interest rate decision with the press conference from ECB, European Central Bank, CPI numbers from Japan, and that's all for Thursday. And Friday, we have Chinese numbers starting early with the manufacturing PMI, which is important also. We'll take a look at China, the charts. We have CPI numbers from European Union and CPI or core, this is not a CPI, but core personal consumption expenditure numbers, also inflation numbers from US. So that's the economic calendar for the upcoming week. Now, winners and losers. When we get to the charts, we'll take a look at each of these instruments and let's just run through the numbers. Heating oil was, excuse me, I'm just gonna have a sip of water. Excuse me. Heating oil almost 10% up. Crude oil 7.5%. Cocoa 741. Gasoline 433. Copper 298. And then we have, these are all futures, right? Just to be clear. The Nikkei futures up to 63. Dow Jones futures 217. Nasdaq 210 and S&P's 183. These are the weekly gains. On the losing side, we have natural gas almost 10%, palladium down 419, sugar down 342, silver down 338, gold down 205, and platinum down 151. So you could see that the energies, heating oil and crude were the champions, with some other commodities and indices were up. Even though the energies were up, natural gas sold, and we have metals selling this past week, and sugar as well. All right, let's take a look at the charts, and we'll start with indices, then move to individual stocks, then commodities, and then FX, and a little bit of crypto at the end. So as we said, the indices, we'll start with China as usual. China broke through this resistance this past week. Thursday and Friday were very strong. Friday we closed at the highs, touching this trend line here that we drew before. Let's see how the weekly chart looks. It looks good. 2 consecutive weeks after the sell-off. This was the announcement when Trump said 100% tariffs in November on China. So I guess it shows some hopes for that talk that's about to happen. So that's on China. As we usually say, when China moves, there 4 assets move with it. They're kind of related to it. That's oil, copper, and then 2 commodity currencies, as they're called, Australian and New Zealand dollar. So let's take a quick look at those. Copper had a nice move with China. Oil had also a nice move with China. Of course, it was more related to sanctions, I believe, but also the move on Chinese index helped as well. And Australian and New Zealand dollar didn't really do much. Thursday, they had a nice move. Friday, they were a little bit in red. The same thing here on New Zealand dollar. So that's on indices. Now, so we had Nikkei on the list. The Japanese index is continuing its journey to the upside, another strong week. And we are in the skies pretty much. The weakness of yen is also helping, boosting that Nikkei to the upside. Now, US indices, as we said, they had a nice Friday. All 3 indices in an all-time high territories. Here's S&P's closing higher, all-time highs, and breaking through that candle. Also, that's the announcement on the tariffs. Take a look. It took us a while, but we did recover that move, right? And we're in the all-time high territories here. So obviously, there's no resistance here. Let's see if we manage to go higher. Let's see what that China talk does. Let's see how reaction will be in the markets to interest rate decisions and other things. Nasdaq as well, brand new territory, all-time high, and Dow Jones as well. Also, Germany tried, but we did close above the 50-day moving average here, but now the immediate resistance here at 24,505. We're not close to that all-time high. And UK all-time high, 3 consecutive days, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday all-time high. Weaker pound also helps this move, similar to weaker yen being helping aspect there, and Nikkei going higher. So that's as far as the indices. Even the French index, which we don't talk about it much, it's not a very popular instrument for some reason. But even French index had a nice recovery here. The economy there and politics not doing so great. Well, let's just take a quick look here. This was the high back in, this is a weekly chart, right? March 2024. Then we had the retest exactly a year later, March 2025. And we just had that retest this past week in this level around 80 to 60s. Interesting. So let's maybe we'll take a look next week again to see how French index is doing. So nice recovery, triple top here, retesting and failing to breaking through that level here, right? All right, let's see what the highest here was. 8306. Let's move it there approximately. All right. So that's as far as indices. Now, individual stocks. Of course, all over the news, there was AMD, the high tech. The stock's been super strong, gapping and continuing. We are in the skies, high demand for the chips. The stock is doing great. Now, on the other hand, we're making all-time highs, and NVIDIA is not really there, right? We made highs here, 195. That was October 9th. The high here was 195.50 on the following day. And now with the market making all-time highs, especially NASDAQ, as it's a high tech, right? NVIDIA is not close to retesting these levels here. We just mark it there, 195.50, right? So let's see how things will play out. Now, Tesla, we had the earnings were not so great. Tesla gapped, and as you can see here, it was there's a move down and then a nice recovery on Thursday and Friday. We give away half of that move. So that's on Tesla. Apple, if you remember, we spoke about Apple. They're showing great results in the new iPhones, the whole iPhone 17 series. We are pushing through the highs. We did close above the previous high of December 2024. So we're in all-time high territories on Apple here. Netflix, after the earnings, the stock continues sliding here. See, the whole week pretty much selling, and we did close on Wednesday below the 200-day moving average, and then Thursday continued, and Friday we continued the sell-off. Also going in the opposite direction of the market. As market, the indices made all-time highs, and Netflix continues on selling here. So let's see if that will stop at some point. We'll find some support, or we might see continuation to the downside. Banks had a nice recovery as well. You could see here the strong week for the banks. Thursday and Friday was strong. Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Bank of America, and Citi. So the bank sector bouncing here. We're not at all-time highs, but for this recent sell-off, just to remind us that saying of Joe Diamond, the CEO of JP Morgan, when he said, he used that analogy with the cockroaches, right? So he said, if you see one, there must be more. So that's about some trouble in banking sector. So far, the buyers found some opportunities here. I guess it was a good price for them to buy, so the banks bounced a little bit. Let's see if that works or continues working. Right. So that's on individual stocks. Let's move to commodities, and we'll go through those winners and losers. We'll start with winners. Heating oil, super strong recovery. They go similar or kind of strong correlation with crude oil. So we had a nice recovery here. Heating oil up almost 10% for the week. You could see the weekly chart. We pretty much recovered the 3 consecutive weeks of selling. A strong reversal here. Crude oil as well up 7.5%, 751, hitting the 50-day moving average here on crude oil. Cocoa is not giving up after this prolonged sell-off here. We tried to bounce here. So this past week, cocoa was up 7.41%. Gasoline, also together with heating oil and crude oil, had a nice move up. We rejected the 50-day moving average here. Copper, as we said, with move on China to the upside, we had a nice week. Also, I just left purposely this Fibonacci retracement. We had 50% retracement from this drop that tariff game. Copper up almost 3%, 298. And now the losers, natural gas, the losing week. That's weird. I'm showing the weakness here, but on the chart, maybe for different contracts. Don't want to confuse you because I'm confused a little bit here. So let's just disregard the natural gas, right? Palladium. Down 4.19% as all the metals retraced a little bit. Sugar down 3.42%. We did break through the previous support here from September 23rd. Let's see the weekly chart. Excuse me. Yeah, sugar has been selling. I guess people are becoming more conscious on the sugar consumption. I'm just being funny here, but it could be true. So sugar is selling, and silver, after a nice run to the upside with a big sell-off starting the week, and the weekly chart, we erased pretty much the 2 weeks of a strong buying here. So silver down 338, gold was much lower, but then had a nice recovery on Thursday. Friday tried, but it couldn't. So gold down 2.05% for the week. And the last one is platinum. Platinum down 1.51% for the week. Things it's holding very nicely though. Platinum here, of course, gold as well. All right, so that's on commodities. Now Forex, we had we start with the dollar index as usual. Dollar's been strong here. We came out of this channel here the week before, 98.56. We moved higher and we established a kind of a new or the latest resistance, 99.29. We came back into the channel, back out of it, and on the CPI data, there was a big sell-off on the US dollar, but we closed flat. That's a strong sign. A strong sign on a big sell-off. The buyers came in and brought it right back. Let's see if it's flat or could be even higher. So the opening price 98.71 and the closing 98.71.5, the fraction of the penny. So officially it was an up day, so it's strong. We could see continuation, but it could be the opposite as well. So that's on the US dollar. Let's take a look at the major pairs. Euro dollar, 3 consecutive days, but not very convincing here, right? This level here is playing as a resistance around 116.33. Pound has been weak, as we said. It's helping the FTSE 100, the UK index, moving higher. So the pound, take a look. It's just selling. All in red. We are trading below 200-day moving average here. We looked at Australia and New Zealand. Australian dollar is a big consolidation here above the 200-day moving average here. Something is cooking. And New Zealand dollar has been super, super weak. We continue making lower lows, lower highs. Dollar Swiss, also, it's not that strong. USD CAD, it moved lower on that oil move. And then Friday, this was the reaction, as we said, the weakness of US dollar and then recovery closing in green. And yen across the board, it's super weak. We have that interest rate decision from Japan. Let's see if anything changes after that. So the high here, 153.26, that was October 9. And we slowly moving towards that mark here. And if you look at all other pairs against the yen, they look very strong. So the yen, as I said, it's been weak across the board. Been losing ground here. It lost against Swiss franc here. Both of them kind of a safe haven currencies, right? But take a look. Swiss just won, and we broke this resistance here from October 8th. So it looks like Swiss franc is winning the battle here for the title of safe haven, obviously. Euro, yen as well. We came to the resistance level here. New Zealand, which looks very weak, it's been strong against the yen. So it's a strong move of other currencies against the Japanese yen. As we said, this week we have that interest rate decision. Let's see how yen will act on that. And let's see how euro pound is in a very very interesting territory here. Take a look. We are retesting that high again here around 180.87, 30s, 40s, 50s. Let's see the weekly chart, how it looks. It looks it's really trying or getting ready to the breakout here. See, this was a quick move to that level, right? That's why I chose that level there. Yeah. So the high here, 0.87379. Then we came back to retest this level on July 20th, the week of July 20th. 2 consecutive weeks we tried, didn't break. came back in, another attempt here 2 weeks in a row in September, and we're back again. But as you can see, the lows become higher. So we really hitting that ceiling, but the floor is coming close to the ceiling, if I can use that analogy. So looking at this chart, we could be seeing that breakout. Just too many attempts, and the buyers are coming closer. So the passive buyers, where they were sitting at the lower levels, they're coming much closer, and maybe they'll win that battle and push through. And if that happens, we could see a push much higher from these levels on Euro Pound. We're going to be watching that definitely. All right, and as promised, we'll take a quick look at cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin is recovering from that shock here from close to 100,000. We're trading around 110, 111, 112. And XRP, as we said, it looks much stronger here after that flash we had. We are trading around 200-day moving average, around 260 on XRP on Ripple. All right, so let's see how cryptos will continue. That's it pretty much. Let's just summarize what's waiting for us in the upcoming trading week. We have 4 interest rate decisions, right? We have Canada, US, Bank of Japan, and European Central Bank. We have some other data, including some inflation data. We have Trump supposed to be meeting with the Chinese leader, discussing that tariffs. Everybody hopes for that to settle and close finally. And definitely the effect of sanctions affecting the oil, the energy sector, see how that works out, right? I want to wish everyone a good weekend. Enjoy, spend some quality time with your loved ones, prepare yourself, get some rest, get ready for the active week of trading. I want to wish everyone a successful and profitable week. And don't forget about the social media. Subscribe, hit that bell, be notified, and enjoy the important and useful content that you can find on our social media channels. Have an amazing week, and thank you for coming to our webinars. All the best.